Welcome to Be the Good with Kate, the show where guests leave you inspired to uncover your passions and discover tangible ways to make a difference along the way. I'm your host, Kate Cherichello Tente, and here I talk to individuals who are doing just that. Individuals from all walks of life and industries following their passions and making the world a better place while they do. With guests hailing from Bali to Utah, Florida to Japan, and just about everywhere in between, something I love about human connection and inspiration is how you certainly don't need to be from the same place or a similar background to get so much out of hearing from a person. In fact, I think it is better that way. We notice how we as humans are so similar in so many ways, and how each of us has so much power to make a difference in our own lives and the lives of others. I hope you're inspired here to start, restart, or continue your journey of finding your passions and helping others along the way. I love a text saying, "This made me think of you today." If there is someone in your life who could use today's story, click share and send their way. And thank you for helping to inspire more people. Now on to this week's episode. Let's spread a little more goodness in the world. It is rare for me to hop on the microphone without a guest, but when I feel pulled with something to share with you, I have to do it. So, welcome back to Be the Good with Kate. Here's a short episode with what I hope is a message that sticks with you. I may be preaching to the choir, as they say, so if you listening are saying, yes, that's correct, I know this already, then maybe forward it to someone who might be able to use this as well. And let's continue to work towards bringing the value of the arts to the forefront. So I'm talking about the arts today, specifically theater. Indulge me with a quick backstory, one I am guessing that some of you can relate to. I first learned about musicals from VHS tapes of Sound of Music, Annie, Beauty and the Beast, and more. These played on repeat at my home when I was little, and I belted out every song included there. And I'm sure some of you did the same. Yes? No? Let me know. Ready for an audience, though? No. I would hide behind mom's skirt when asked to sing for someone or anywhere. I kept watching musicals, though, getting to go to live shows at the community theater near where I grew up in New Jersey once I was old enough. Eventually, the ripe old age of 8, I had enough courage to do their summer workshop, and then I couldn't get enough. I found such joy, met the most wonderful people, and realized how we on stage could help audiences feel all sorts of emotions, the biggest perhaps being happiness while getting an escape from reality when at a show. I absorbed so much as a child through teenager, and to this day, there are plenty of things I feel I can recall better that happened during those years than I can recall from the past decade. I'm not even kidding. I think I still know the whole dance to Smile from Annie that I did when I was 12. I'm not kidding. I am thankful for all of those amazing formative years with the community theater and then high school theater as well, dance lessons, incredible performers to watch, and just all the ways I had the opportunity to learn. My story is not unique in this. The life skills children pick up in the performing arts are amazing. Before I deep dive further, though, I want to clarify something. I am not saying other activities don't have great benefits, but I chose to specifically talk about kids in theater today as our society seems to constantly question whether the arts are important. I feel it is so important to remind people or help people realize the immense impact of the arts, specifically in this scenario, performing arts. Think about it. Is there a stage show, a movie, a television series, or concert that has stayed with you? One that made you see a situation in a new light? One that helped you understand why a person does something the way they do? Maybe one that taught you about a new concept? Showed you an amazing place in the world you never knew about? Helped you see something about struggling with a certain medical diagnosis? Or piqued your interest about a new subject or potential hobby? How long is the list in your head right now? Feel free to pause, write it down. I like writing things down, it helps me. Okay, so skills from theater, confidence, to get up on that stage, yes, but also interacting with others of all ages, the adults actively involved in the on-stage and backstage work of the productions. We'll talk more about some of these other skills. So interpersonal skill going along with this, right? Respect in how we communicate and just all that falls into that category. Eye contact. Wow. Was our director incredible at stressing this? Always look right at the person who is talking to you. The amount of times in my adult life I interact with people who appeared never to have realized the value in this. Acceptance. There is something about theater that tends to embrace people of all types, and we learn to not think twice about seeming perhaps so different on paper. We were just all family and respected one another. Creative problem solving. I feel like that's a buzz phrase, but that out-of-the-box thinking, this is key in all subjects. Chemistry, geometry, physics, art class, gym, strengthening creative problem solving is a skill that has a measurable value throughout life. Saying we should, I say in quotes, focus on math and science and not the arts makes no sense. To be successful in one, we need the other as well. More benefits in a moment, but real quick, I'm definitely not saying children should all go out and be professional actors. No, definitely not. There are plenty of times I wonder why I have been pulled to this crazy industry as an adult. But then I go back to all of this. The inspiration, the helping audiences to see different perspectives, the telling of stories that need to be told. I could go on and on. Okay, let's give a few moments to the professional researchers. From a Forbes article titled, "Why Art is Vital to the Study of Science." And here is verbatim what they said. Science is a form of creation. The purpose of science is to understand the world and create within the world. One cannot create without creativity. The word creativity in itself has the word create, which means the two processes are interconnected. And then later on it says, the reason why art is necessary to science, because creativity involves imagination, and imagination is visualization. Things we are able to conceptualize, visualize, or imagine in our mind are the things we can also create if we have the tools to do so. Oftentimes, some of the greatest discoveries in science involved using some form of art. As one example, Charles Messier, I think that's how we pronounce the last name, a French astronomer from the 18th century, had a catalog of about 110 drawings from his journals. In his observation of the night sky in search of a wandering comet, Halley, he documented countless galaxies, clusters, and nebulae. Another example that is widely known to us is Leonardo da Vinci, who often used art as a way to underpin his imagination and abstract thoughts to reality. It has been found that many of his drawings and scientific ideas have resulted in practical inventions. So again, that was all from a Forbes article called "Why Art is Vital to the Study of Science." A New York Times article was titled, "Art is How We Justify Our Existence." I thought that was a really neat title. They explain, quote, "The appreciation of art is, more often than not, a communal experience. It brings us together when we go to museums, to openings, to concerts," and the article goes on. Something that I love, the National Endowment for the Arts, they mention on their pages is, quote, "The arts matter because they help us to understand how we matter." Another quote I love, "The arts matter because they help us to understand how we matter." I also learned that the National Endowment for the Arts has a monthly podcast called Quick Study that uses research to dive into the value of arts in everyday life. So if you want to find out more about all of this, check that one out. And then one more example, well, I guess it's many examples under one umbrella, is the Google AI search function result of why the arts are important. There's a whole list. Here are a couple of pieces on that "why is art important" list from Google's AI. Creativity, motor skills, cultural awareness. We didn't talk about that one. I love that. Let's see. Why is art important? Oh, it just repeated it. Sorry. Arts drive tourism and revenue. Improves your creative skills. Strengthens the economy. So some of these are repeats, but you get the idea in different words. Fuels creativity. Decision making. Confidence. Learning. Expression, supports emotional well-being, help you to learn visually. Arts improve healthcare. There's a whole other. So the list goes on. So any of those things that I just mentioned, if you Google those titles, you will find those resources. All right, back to childhood for a minute. I went from shy to confidently walking into any room. Even if I didn't feel so confident, I knew fake it till you make it real well. I still do, I think. I wasn't afraid to converse with people of all ages. I was granted leadership roles from a young age, adding to a sense of empowerment and confidence. Again, not unique in this, but giving examples of what happens so often to kids who are involved in theater. So for me, it was how fun to be named orphan dance captain during Annie, drilling my peers on the dances in the hallways when we weren't needed on stage. Finding the balance of friend and leader, earning respect, keeping the joy, and then graduating to, I guess, regular dance captain. I fondly recall teaching a tap dance during Anything Goes to a few 60-year-olds, a few teenagers, and a 9-year-old. I can still picture the room we were all in there. We had role models of all ages. We saw what the older kids were involved in, how they did in school, and how they treated others. We all knew everyone's parents, and they all knew us too. And then there are the brain benefits from memorizing songs and dances and lines, having to then adjust in rehearsal and then adjust again and rememorize. And if the number, 1 or 2 fear in the country is still public speaking, we were introduced to it as children and never knew to be afraid of it. So again, a lot of activities that children are involved in hold a lot of rewards. But thank you for letting me take some time today to just talk about theater and hopefully shine an extra light on the importance of the arts in our lives. If you feel pulled to share this episode or share the work of organizations who are supporting the arts, please do. Or if you have stories from your own experiences, please send them my way. I love hearing from you. And as I always note, each and every one of us has the power to make a difference. Again, thank you so much for listening, and you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, a 5-star review, like, or comment means the world to me. And if you found insight in this episode, chances are someone else will too. Share with a friend to give them a boost today. Until next time, I'm Cherichello Tente, and this was Be the Good with Kate.